It was pouring. We had come all the way to one of the 7 wonders of the world, and it was an all-out downpour. But it turned into probably the coolest experience you can have at Chichén Itzá. Our first stop was Merida. The city has a complicated history, like any that's been colonized, but the Merida of today has a vibrant Maya pride. The Spanish built Merida on top of a city called Tahoe. They used stones from the old temples to build the new city. Churches, houses, government buildings, a whole colonial world built from the bones of the one before it. For a while, Merida was one of the wealthiest cities in Mexico, not because of gold, but because of henequen, a spiky agave plant. Its fibers were turned into rope, twine, sacks, and all of the things that the modern world needed. Ships, farms, railroads, factories, they all needed henequen, and it brought fortunes to Merida. Those fortunes built haciendas, they built mansions, they built a version of Merida that still looks very elegant today. One day while in Merida, we hired a local guide to show us around and teach us about Mayan culture. He started with the food, but this wasn't just a tour of some restaurants and some street carts. It was more like a history lesson with food as the vehicle, all set in a crazy marketplace atmosphere. He told us that Yucatan food is Mayan food. We learned about how some recipes and cooking techniques survived passed down generations essentially unchanged, and how others came from a unique blend of cultures adapting their home cuisine to the local Maya produce. Merida didn't feel like a city sitting on top of Maya history. It feels like a city still living with it. Even the Yucatan Orchestra paid homage to their Mayan roots. In that way, maybe Merida represents not only the past, but the future of Mayan culture and pride. From there, we went to Mayapán. No big crowds, no tour bus army, no endless soundtrack of jaguar whistles. Just heat, stone, jungle, and another local guide who spent the day teaching us about Mayan civilization, their building techniques, their astronomy, calendars, and daily life in this city that they call a mini Chichén Itzá. But unlike Chichén Itzá, you can still climb the structures here, so we did. We walked up the pyramid and sat at the top. The jungle went out in every direction endlessly. No ropes, no barriers, just old stone under our feet and some small semblance of what Mayan kings must have felt gazing out above the canopy. So coming up was not too bad, but going down is a little bit sketchy. These aren't so much stairs as like a crumbly rock ladder type of thing. After that, we opened Google Maps and we picked the nearest cenote. No list, no recommendation, just a pin on a map and a small jeep. We We ended up in a cave with dark blue water so still it looked like glass. Little black fish moved under the surface. The bottom disappeared into the dark, and at the back of the cave, the rock curved into something that looked almost exactly like an eye. You could understand why these places were sacred, why the Maya believed cenotes were passages between the worlds, why the Alush protects them. The cool air, the silence, the water going down into nowhere, it almost feels like a cathedral. The night before the rain, we went to Chichén Itzá after dark. The crowds were gone for the day, the pyramid was lit against the black sky. They played a light show that told the story of the civilization we'd spent the entire week diving into. And we got to explore the ruins in the dark with a surprisingly small amount of other people. It was the perfect kickoff to our little weekend at Chichén Itzá. The next morning, the sky opened. Hard. For a minute, it felt like horrible timing. Then Xana reminded me that adventures really never go as planned. She looked over and said, "Hey, we're waterproof. Let's just go explore." So we kept walking, and almost no one else did. The buses waited, the crowds disappeared, and we had the place basically to ourselves. It was kind of the perfect way to see it, but it wasn't just about the rain. It was about the week leading up to this moment that made it so special. We arrived through Merida, through a better understanding of food, through stories and legends, through Mayapán, through a cave with an eye at the back of it, through a week of learning and falling in love with the culture. So when the rain came, it didn't ruin Chichén Itzá. It made it all the more special.
Well, we did Chichén Itzá in the pouring rain, and we crushed that shit. We saw everything. It was great because there weren't a ton of people there. We got some cool pictures, and we still have 15 minutes to get our shit together at the hotel and go to our next stop.
Perfect.
Go team, babe.